navigated in such a short amount of time to get that focus?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way the schedule's really played out this year. Obviously, we know these last couple weeks a lot of things could happen. And so we're excited about the road we have ahead of us here to finish out the season. We know we got a tough stretch, but we're really focused on this week, and hopefully we can build from here.
As you look back at that Washington game last year, the Monday night game,
Yep.
what stood out about your performance?
I mean, I think just as a whole, offensively, I mean, we started off slow. I remember the very beginning when we kept going backwards, then the interception, and we're like, all right, shake it off, and we kind of stayed kind of slow for a couple drives, and then just kind of turned it on. You know, we kind of turned it on, and offensively we started rolling. Defense played great, and obviously there's a ton of big plays made in that game, and there's a lot to kind of build from in that game and learn from how to attack these guys.
You made a lot of plays with your feet that day. I know you will address this last week, but is it something that you would like to do more going forward?
You know, I never want to say I want to do more because, I mean, I know we talk about it quite a bit, scrambling and all that. I never want to force the issue because then bad things can happen, but it's really just case by case and the way teams are playing, the way teams are rushing. Sometimes teams are collapsing the ends, so you can get out and escape, and some teams want to keep you in the pocket. So I never go looking for it, but, you know, I realize there's a lot of big plays to be made when you can extend the play outside the pocket.
Why do you think your the deep ball production hasn't been there as much this season?
It's really hard to say. You know, I feel like we do have some down the field shots, and we have connected on some and have had some big plays. And you know, I think part of it would just be how teams are playing us. You know, I think earlier in the year we were getting more softer zone coverage and things like that to take away some of those down the field shots. So I think a lot of that is just controlled by the way teams have played us. And then other than that, it's really hard to put a finger on exactly why.
Have there been any examples when you've watched the film and you're like, oh, I think I missed one or two, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely happens. You know, sometimes you miss one, or you got off of your first read and you've ended up winning late or something like that, and that happens within the course of a game and especially within the season. But you know, I feel confident in the way we've really attacked defenses both underneath and down the field.
You're coming up on a year from the injury. You stated a number of times this season that you feel healthy with no limitations whatsoever.
Yep.
But over the weekend, there was a report that you're not planting your left foot hard. Have you noticed anything like that?
No, I heard about that, and I don't know where that came from, to be honest. I feel good. I feel, you know, I analyzed my mechanics from really all the way throughout this injury, and I've never felt that as an issue at all, and I feel really good with where I'm at.
Every game from here on out is obviously huge, but how much do you guys enjoy playing on Monday Night Football?
We love it. You know, we love just playing on national TV. You know, night games makes for a bit of a longer week, and you know the preparation kind of gets extended and kind of builds up a little bit. But you know, when we come running out that tunnel, knowing it's Monday night, it's a night game, especially at home, we know that place is gonna be rocking. So we're excited for this one.
Carson, what do you see behind the scenes with Golden that's like give you optimism that things are gonna click into a higher gear here?
Yeah, you know, more than anything that I see is he wants to learn. He wants to ask why or hey, what are you seeing here? And we're always just in communication. And those are things you're not going to see out on the field. You're not going to see us kind of pulling up a clip on film and saying this is what I was feeling, this is what I was seeing, and just talking through things. And so you build your chemistry on the field, but just talking through things off the field is something I've been very impressed with him, just wanting to know more and wanting to grow within the offense.
The offense was a lot more balanced this past week, given that you guys weren't playing from behind, so you don't have to try to throw the ball all the time. How do you continue that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, balance, we talk about it kind of every week, balance, run, pass, something we always strive for. And I think staying ahead of the chains, I think early in the year we kind of hurt ourselves early on downs and within drives, and it kind of forced us to throw maybe a little bit more. And so I think being effective on first down, I think, is a big key to staying balanced within the game and just trusting it. You know, you might have a run for a negative play, but just trusting the run game and trusting everybody, and that goes for me included, just staying with it. And I think the big guys up front really fuel off that.
After the New Orleans game, I noticed Nick talking to you in the locker room. Is he a good resource in in that regard? Has he been helpful to you getting through what's been kind of an up and down, frustrating season?
Yeah, I mean, Nick's been great, ever since he's been here. And then last year going through the injury, obviously he took over, but he was there as a friend at the same time. He's there as the backup quarterback in his role like that, but he's definitely much more than that. He's a resource. He's been around the league for a while. So pick his brain at times about things, and he's always there to just encourage and uplift, and that's something I can't give him enough credit for the way he's handled himself throughout really his whole time here. And then this year as well, he's just always there for me, and I appreciate the heck out of him.
You have all these weapons. Obviously, you have to take what the defense gives you, but do you make an effort to involve guys early in games and try to keep them involved in games?
I mean, you want to. I mean, I think sometimes it's play call that maybe might dictate to try and get guys involved, but it can be so hard, sometimes to you don't want to force feed anybody or anything like that. So I know when you have a lot of weapons, it's my job and really coaches to design things up to just distribute the ball well, and within each game it kind of just changes, and you just got to take what the defense gives you, like you said.
When you look at the film, Carson, have you seen anything different from Washington's defense this season? They seem to be more impactful, having better success this season.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good defense. It's hard to say what I see big time difference from last year, but I see a good defense. I see that their front is big and physical. Linebackers are fast, and they like to heat you up and bring pressure from different ways. Secondary is rock solid, and so it's exciting because we know it's a good defense, but we both know each other so well. We play each other so often, and their scheme hasn't really changed too much. So it's really just going to come down to execution, and that's what we're excited about.
You've thrown a lot of passes to Zach Ertz, obviously. What have you noticed about him, as being kind of like, I guess, security type of blanket for you? Or, has he changed his game at all this year?
Yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily he's changed his game. I mean, he's playing at an extremely high level. I think, last year and years before he was too. I mean, we just keep building that chemistry. And the same thing I was talking about with Golden earlier. Zach and I are always, sending each other clips, say, hey, this is what I was seeing here. And just talking through kind of what I'm expecting him to do and vice versa. And so just knowing that he's going to be in the right spot, he's going to find a way in zone coverage to get in the right zone, and just plays with a lot of feel. One of the smartest guys I've played with before. And so just having that chemistry, I think, is really what's just been building and kind of taking us to where he's having the success that he's having.
And getting back to that game last year, Press was saying there are some plays that just can't be coached. As you watch that film, do you marvel at it? Do you try to learn from it? What do you take away from that pass to Corey, the end zone, things like that?
Yeah, I mean, that was hard to say exactly what happened. Some of those plays, I always just say they're happenings. They're plays where instincts take over and guys just make plays. I made a play, Corey made a heck of a play. The plays break down, and you just got to find a way to make a play. And last year we made a handful of them, and that was, I think, the difference in the game last year.
How often are your interactions with Mike Groh, the offensive coordinator, throughout the week? When do you usually kind of talk with him?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking. Coach Groh and I are talking all throughout the week, honestly. Same with Coach Press Taylor and Coach Peterson. I mean, we're all constantly bouncing ideas back and forth, maybe sending text messages here and there about what we're seeing or different ideas and things. So the relationship and the chemistry that we have, really all of us together, it's been a really good approach just working together.
There isn't anything specific that he deals with you when he comes to you? I mean, I know that he typically handles a lot of third down and that kind of stuff. Is it mostly that, or is it just kind of still big picture stuff?
It's really just kind of big picture. I mean, third down, maybe a little more emphasis on it just because he handles more of that. But I think just really kind of everything in between. We're always just in constant dialogue about ideas and the way we're seeing things.
Sounds like all season there have been a lot of questions about how you guys can start clicking offensively more, I'm sure internally as well. Has it been tough to remain optimistic through all those, maybe as the answers haven't come?
It could be. It could be, but, I think for some it could be. But the way we've kind of handled things is just we're always trying to just stay optimistic and keep believing in ourselves and really showing some of the things that we're doing well, and just say, hey, this is something we can build on, or hey, we just missed right here just by a little bit, and this can make the big difference. And so we've been really good with staying positive, staying optimistic. But if we didn't have the chemistry and the culture we had around here, without a doubt, it would be easy to start being pessimistic and down on yourselves. But we've handled it pretty well.
What are some of those things that you see that give you optimism that things will start to click?
Yeah, I mean, there's just a handful of things within a game when you turn on the tape. obviously there's a handful of big plays and great individual efforts, and then some of the plays that we just miss, it's usually just one little thing on each play, and we just kind of say, hey, if this just changed this little detail of this play, that's a big play, that's a touchdown, things like that. And so instead of degrading guys or anything, we just say, hey, this can be the difference. So guys can just focus on the little details and stay encouraged because of that.
Carson, every game that Washington's been involved in this year, the team that scored first has won. Are you aware of that trend, and does that just emphasize you guys starting quicker,
Yeah, I mean, we realize it's an interesting trend, interesting stat for sure. I realize it's not a make or break stat by any means, but again, we're always talking about starting fast, and we've obviously struggled with that over this season. Last week, I thought we did a great job. We went and scored the second play, and then got called back because of holding, and then stalled out because of that. A couple plays in a row, and so I think we're close. And yeah, it's frustrating when we're not, but we feel we're ready to start fast for sure.
Talking to Jordan Matthews yesterday, he said that he's seen guys like Derek Carr, Marcus Mariota come back from major injury, but when he looks at you, he's heard this kind of outside perception that no one's giving you the benefit of the doubt, no one's giving you that time to recover a little bit. I'm curious, through such a tumultuous season, how have you been able to stay so even-keeled and try to block some of that out?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I try not to read too much into things and social media and all those things. So I block that out. But at the same time, through the injury and all those things, I don't try to make excuses. I don't try to say I'm recovering or any of those things. My goal from when I got hurt was to come back and start at the beginning of this season. Obviously, I missed it by a couple weeks, but there's no kind of just get back into it, feel your way into it. I was trying to take this thing full speed and run with it. So I never want to be one with excuses or anything like that. So I feel really good, and I've been fortunate throughout the process. Thanks, guys.